So I thought, yeah, maybe was a good.
No, I hate that. Because I know
didn't know
exactly what you're thinking. I just want to shut her up. I just want her to stop talking.
So I was like, yeah. Is that better? Leave off the maybe?
Maybe. We'll see. Welcome back to the Maeband podcast.
I'm Bryan.
Holly. What?
Thought I'd go first this time.
I used to try to get you to go first, and then I would like pause, and it would be a really long.
I was just trying to throw you off. I was just trying to throw you off. What did we talk about today?
All right. So I saw this reel, and they said that as a couple, like a married couple or any couple, really,
intimate 7 days a week.
No,
I tried.
No.
I tried.
So they said that they got into the habit of asking each other, do you want comfort or do you want solutions when the other one was upset? And they said that saved an argument like 9 out of 10 times.
So explain that. What do you mean by that? Do you want comfort or solutions?
So if someone's upset, I would say,
do you want a solution or do you just want to be comforted?
Yeah. Like when you're upset and you're venting to me and I'm like, I give you all these solutions.
Well, she got this totally backwards. Sort of.
And you're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want positivity. I just want to be negative.
Well, sometimes you just want to be negative. I get that.
And what I should say is, would you like comfort or solutions?
That'd be hard though,
Would you
because
like
like
a big hug?
if I said something and you said that to me, I would feel like, are you patronizing me? That's what if you like, I think there's got to be a better way of saying it, right? Do you want comfort or do you want a solution?
That's all you ever think. That's all you ever think is that I'm patronizing you. And I'll be dead serious and I'll be like, well, no, like really. And you're like, stop treating me like a child. I'm like, I'm not. I
don't like being treated like a child.
I'm really not like, I'm sorry if it comes off that way.
Well, I could understand like if somebody said that to me, like if I said something and they're like, do you want a solution or do you just want a bitch? That's basically what you're saying, right? That's basically what you're saying. So, I mean, it's just like.
Well, I think it would take.
So how do you say it in a nice way?
Well, I don't think you say it like that. Do you want a solution? I think you just like listen and hear them and look them in the eye. Right?
I hear you.
That
would piss me off too.
It's because when you get mad, everything pisses you off.
That's true.
I really don't know how to respond when you get mad.
I've told you.
I have tried every single like book, coaching, like every single thing in like what they say to do. I've tried so many different things.
I'm an anomaly. So basically, I've told you how to react. Like if I'm saying something, you're just like, okay. All right. Yeah. Agree with me. I don't care if you agree with me. If I'm like, this person's so stupid, you'll be like, yeah, they're pretty stupid. And then I'll be like, oh, I love my wife. That's all it takes. Literally all it takes.
I cannot talk crap about people.
I know.
I cannot.
It's not even talking. I'm not even talking about people 95% of the time. If I'm like, this pisses me off. I can't believe this happened. Well, have you ever thought about their side? Have you ever thought that this and this? I'm like, oh my gosh, just say, yeah, pisses me off too. Like if Holly says something, even if I don't agree with her, she's like, she tells me something. I don't know. It's usually about coaching or something. She's like, yeah, this is what they said to do. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
No. No, you don't.
Yeah,
you say, yeah, maybe. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm sorry. That's better than
that.
That's better than like, no.
I hate it when you say that. I hate it when I like say something and it's super like deep and thoughtful.
Oh,
and like, I'm like, wow, like I just had this huge aha and I like tell it to you and I'm like so excited and you're like, yeah, maybe.
Well, what's profound for you may not be profound for me.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna smack you.
See, yeah. Okay. So I thought, yeah, maybe was a good.
No, I hate that. Because I know exactly
know.
what you're thinking. I just want to shut her up. I just want her to stop talking.
So I was like, yeah. Is that better? Leave off the maybe?
Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Those are your famous words too.
That's
maybe.
That's the problem. Well, we'll see it for my kids. If they want something,
it works
great.
That is genius.
Thank you.
It really is.
Thank you.
Really is. He used to do it all the time. And I used to be like, no.
Tell him yes or no.
Just say, and I would tell my kids like, no. And then I would hear him and he'd be like, we'll see. And I knew that was a no. And our kids are like, yes. And they run off. And I'm like, and after a while, I was like, you know what that means, don't you, kids?
Yeah, try to tell on me. Like, hey, you know that means no.
You're like,
because everyone's
I was mad at you at the time. And you were like, hey, like, this is really good. And then I thought about it, I'm like, that is really good. Now I use it all the time.
It's because it's a no most of the time. Every once in a while, you throw in a yes. So it gives them hope. So it's just like, hey, can we do this? We'll see. Okay, there's a 10% chance that means a yes. That's what
it's like, it's better than maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's way better than
because maybes kids don't deal with maybes. Like you're like, maybe, no, Dad, I need to know.
I know.
But yes, they're happy. No, they hate you.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, we'll see.
We'll see. For some reason, they're like, it's
make sure our kids aren't listening to this.
They won't watch this.
No, I know, but right now they're right outside the door. So, but that is, thank you. That's the first time my wife ever said something I did was genius. That's the first time I got it on tape.
I say you're genius all the time.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, maybe was a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
See, but most of the time, I just agree with her. Like if she says something really profound. Sorry, I didn't mean to air quote that, but it's really
and roll your eyes. Really profound.
Okay, so when she says something really profound, and I don't really necessarily agree with it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I try to patronize her. I know I just said patronizing is awful, but it's better than having a big, long conversation about it. I got in trouble. I'll just tell you, we got into a fight not too long ago. And Holly. She's just always like about being a better person. Like 100% of the time, 24/7. How can we work on this? How can we be better? How can we do this better? How can just all the time. And so
if things aren't going good for like a week, I want to change it. I'm the type of person
that it wasn't a week. It was like a day.
No, it wasn't. Like I'm the type of person, like if you keep doing what you're always doing, you're going to get what you've always got. And if things aren't good, like
that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you're always wanting to be a better person. That's not a bad thing. But there was one night she just came in and she's like, when you said this, I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be a better person right now. I don't want to talk about how we can become better. I don't want to talk about any of this.
But it wasn't that.
It did not make her happy.
It didn't make me happy because it wasn't even at all about being a better person. It was like how I had been feeling. Like after like I was feeling down and I was feeling sad and I wanted to talk about me and I wanted to be heard because I like feel like I hear you a lot. And I was like, okay, can we like hear me now? Like I need some comforting. And you like got mad. And I was like, I want comforting. And you get mad.
I didn't get mad. I was just like, I don't want to do this right now. That's all.
You got mad.
I was just like, because a lot of times, like, that's what I was telling Holly. I think the one thing I want from our marriage, like we've talked about this. I don't even know what I've talked about in those podcasts, but like, I just want fun. Like, I just want to hang out with my wife and have fun. Mm-hmm. And it feels like because, you know, it's hard because we're just got these six kids. Businesses. It's just, we got so much going on. And so it's just like, we never get to just hang out and have fun. So when we do get alone time, I feel like it's hard because that's just the way her mind works. She's like, okay, this can make our life better. Let's do this and this and this. And so I'm just like, sometimes I just want to shut it off and talk about stupid things.
You're right. You're right. And a lot of times, like, I know you've said that, like, I just want to have fun. So I have been like trying to have fun and like do it, like
she's been way better.
I'm trying to meet your needs because you tell me that that's what you want. But that night I was trying to tell you what I needed and I didn't feel like you were trying to meet my needs.
I agree. I just didn't want to. Let's talk. I know I'm a bad husband, but for doing it. But we were laying there. It was like midnight.
It was a bad time.
After a ton of work, we were both exhausted.
We were exhausted. And I think that's why I was like bringing it up because he had been like mad and grumpy because things had gone wrong. And it was late and we were up way too late and we were both tired and we were working.
Stressed about the next morning.
Stressed. And so like he was grumpy and then that made me sad. And then I was like trying to do everything to like keep it happy, and that's one thing we've learned. Like it's okay.
Let them feel their emotions.
Let them feel their emotion. And so sometimes we struggle with that. Like I'll struggle with letting him feel his anger and he struggles with letting me feel my sad.
And angers too. I think I struggle with your anger too. Like, when you get mad at something, like I'll just like, stop it.
Yeah. So we should have just gone to sleep. But I think that we couldn't go to bed because we were waiting for the video that had just gone wrong. So we were like waiting for it to come back. And so we were just laying there, and then I was feeling sad. So then I was like, well, I think we can't go to sleep, so let's talk.
Yeah. Let's talk about, And so I think I'm just the type. 2
hours yelling at each other.
I'm just the type of person that like, I do wake up awful sometimes. I just wake up, I'm like, oh, I feel really shitty. I just like ornery. Like I just need to have the day to where I'll work on getting better. And then the next day I'm like 100% fine. So a lot of times
there's sometimes where you got like a week. I swear men have like cycles too. because he has like a week, like once a month.
I'm trying to think that you're probably right. I'm like thinking, what could trigger my cycle? My cycle? Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. Sometimes I just wake up. I'm like, man, everything's stupid.
And it goes on and on and on.
That doesn't go
by
long.
The end of the week, I'm like,
not that long. It's like a couple days, maybe. A couple days, maybe. That's why I just like, I look at those people that are just super positive and I envy them because they're just wake up and they're just, everything's positive. Everything's happy. Everything's good all the time. And I'm just like, oh, I hate you. Only because I'm envious though, because I really like that. I know a lot of people like that. And I'm like, why can't I be like that? Like I would love to be like that because there's so many people out there that I just look at and they're just happy all the time.
But I would say they do the work for it. They probably do. Maybe. They probably do those like few minutes of uncomfortableness.
Maybe, but like, I do think there are people that are born that way. I do think some people are more, I mean, because I know a lot of people that are
maybe
just ornery as hell. Maybe it's just the morning
people. I did hear that like if you wake up early in the morning, those people, like they did studies, those people are more happy. And so people who naturally wake up early, maybe are naturally more happy.
Maybe.
And then if you force yourself to wake up early, you can force yourself to be happy.
I do wake up early though. I feel like I wake up early. I'm up at 6. That's early for me, 6.
Yeah, but then going and like scrolling on your phone for 2 hours is probably going to
that's probably what brings me down.
That vibration
like
down
I
for the
scroll
day.
through Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate everything. Just kidding. You probably think I hate everything. I really don't. But no, I don't know. So anyway, I'm just the type that a lot of times if you just leave me alone, I'll just pull myself out of it. But then if we like start talking about things, you don't want to know what's on my mind.
Sometimes I feel like though you are like misery loves company.
Sometimes that's what I said. If you leave me alone.
But when I leave you alone, you're like, why is she so happy?
No.
I'm going to make her mad too.
She's projecting. We've learned this, everybody. We've learned this. A lot of the times what's going on in my head, like you don't want to know. And then Holly like asks, and then I tell her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I hate you." So I'm like, I told you, it's a dark place up here a lot of the times.
No.
And so I'm just like, let me feel it.
I'm okay with you feeling it and being mad. But then when I ask, and you're like, "You did this wrong, and you did this wrong, and you did this wrong," and I'm like, "What? You couldn't have like come to me nicely during the week. You had to save it all up for the end of the week."
That's what I do. I save it up, and then I'm like,
yes, you
like I save up all like everything she does throughout the week. Sometimes I was like, oh, that pissed me off, but I'll just let it go.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I know.
Go.
That's what I think. I'm like, oh, that really annoyed me when she did that. Whatever. I'll just blow it off. And so it goes throughout the week, and like there's like 20 things that have pissed me off. And then finally she does one more. I'm like, oh, why would you do that? She's like, whoa, what happened? I'm like, this and this and this and this pissed me off.
Along great. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know. That's probably normal, right?
No.
I never claimed to be normal. So you knew this is the way I was. Was I like this when I was young?
Yeah, you were.
You knew what you were getting into.
I know.
I was probably a little more happy when I was young, though.
I don't know if you were.
I became way more, I think once I worked as a cop, I became way more of a pessimist.
Yeah.
Because I was not, I wouldn't call myself an optimist, but probably an optimist.
Well, and once you got into politics, you became a cop and you got into politics.
Yeah.
Like
I got those two things because I didn't care about politics at all before then. Then I got into politics and started following that. And I was like, oh, why do I do these things? Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. I don't know. I hate it. I hate
like once I decided I wanted to be like a more positive, happy person.
That's the first thing she got. Yeah, that was the first thing she got rid of. I need to because it's stupid.
Like you used to like laugh and joke at me when I used to like when we were dating and I was so passionate about politics because my dad was and like taught me all these and I was like, no, this and you would just like laugh and like tease me and patronize me.
Yeah.
Now I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. I don't know. Okay, this is where we're going with this. I'm going to be a more positive person.
How?
I'm going to do the hard work and be a more positive person.
Do the hard work. How? Okay, tell me. Give me specifics.
I'm going to meditate.
What else?
Follow politics at a minimum. It's hard to just turn off.
How do you do that?
Because sometimes don't you just like, sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Sometimes don't you just want to be pissed off? Don't you?
No.
Okay. Sometimes I just like want to be pissed off. I'm like, oh, I just want to be pissed off right now. So I get pissed off. And so I'm going to try not to just want to be pissed off. But I don't know how I'm going to be a better person. I don't know.
But they say when you are mad and you want to, it's more about feeling that mad, like feeling that anger. So yeah, you want to be pissed off. You want to be mad, but it's more about like feeling it and like doing an action to like feel that anger.
Yeah.
So go out and like, I've done this before. It's amazing.
He was a crazy person.
Get a baseball bat and like
beat the hell out of boxes.
Yeah. Well, they needed to be like broken down anyway.
They needed to be beaten.
To be put in the recycle. But I was like mad about stuff and I was like yelling and beating it.
So all of our neighbors are looking out the window and Holly's out there just smashing boxes in our front yard. I was like, oh my gosh.
There were guys like on a roof, like a few houses down, like working on a roof. And they like, and I blasted like this angry music.
Her angry music was still like Christian music. Jesus.
I blasted angry music. That's what I did from the car. And I like turned it up really loud and I was like beating boxes. I wasn't yelling. And then I look over and these guys are on the roof and they're like, yeah.
Oh, so embarrassing. This is why, going back to that one podcast where I'm like, people think Holly can be weird. This is one of the things.
Okay, but I felt great.
I know. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying this is one of the things.
Well, it's because people don't want to do the things that are weird that make you feel good.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And make you happy.
I agree.
And make you like successful. And it takes some weird things to do that.
I agree. I'm not saying I don't like you. I like you. I'm still here. I do think you can be weird. You're a little strange sometimes. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you.
I remember what you were saying, that you're going to be more happy. And
I don't remember saying that.
Yeah. Like you decided you're going to be more positive and you're going to meditate and
I am going to meditate. I am. So yeah, I'm going to be a better person.
It takes those uncomfortable things that you have to do.
Okay. So what do I got to do to be a better person, Holly? Tell me.
You don't want me to tell you that.
You're probably right.
Brian. Do you want comfort or solutions?
See, that pissed me off. Just don't say that to your husband or wife. I don't know. I've been working. I actually have been working like since we started, we went like 8 years ago, we started doing the whole what's it called? Self-help.
Yeah. Did you hurt your back?
Yeah. And so we went down like the rabbit hole of trying to be a better person. So I feel like I've grown and become better. Like, I don't know what constitutes a better person, but I feel like the problem with me is I suppress my feelings really bad. Like, I don't like to feel my feelings.
And you don't like to talk about your feelings.
I don't like to talk about my feelings.
So if you like feel a little bit annoyed, you can't just like come talk like normal. You have to wait till it builds up and you're pissed off and angry.
Yeah, I'd like to suppress for some reason. That's like, and I know we talked about like addiction issues in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's where my addiction issues because I'm like feeling it and I'm like, I don't like to feel this. So, I would take stuff and I'm like, okay, I feel better now. I don't have to feel anything.
If you want to get a little more kooky, it also comes out in like health problems.
Yeah, let's not get that kooky.
If you suppress issues, and you don't feel your emotions will come out sideways, whether through addiction or through knee problems or shoulder pain. Or
I do agree with that.
sickness.
But if I like hit my head and I'm like, oh, that hurt. She's like, what did you do to bring that head injury upon yourself? I'm like, nothing. I just hit my head. She's like, I know, but you must be feeling something to make your head subconsciously hit.
There are books that talk about that.
Again, it's a little strange.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You attract everything in your life. Like you literally attract everything.
I agree with 95% of that. Like, I don't think you attract everything. I do think you attract.
Except for when crappy things happen to you and you're like, I didn't attract this.
Agreed.
This is just.
Good things, if good things happen, I'm like, I did this.
Yeah.
Bad things, I'm like, you did this.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's kind of the opposite.
No, but you're very, I was actually thinking about this, Brian, like the other day I was going to tell you. So it's probably good I saved it for this. Like I was thinking about this and you're like, this is so stupid. Like, why do all these negative things like affect me so much more than the average person? Like you don't do certain things like, or like being on your phone, like you feel like like all these negative things like impact you more. Like you feel like you just can't be normal and all these negative things like impact you so bad. Right.
Yeah.
Or, even like addiction, you're like, a lot of people could just like take a pain pill or, drink a drink and like not be addicted. And they would never like, why does it affect me so bad? But on the opposite end, like your weaknesses are your strengths. And like, yeah, I was pondering that. Yeah, they do affect you more than the average person. But when you do things that are good, like that are healthy, like it's like affects you way more like quicker and faster and like more powerful than I think the average, like me. Yeah, I'll like meditate and like do gratitude stuff and like all that for years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. Bryan does it for like a week and it's like, woo, everything is great. Our income's going up and this is going up and this is great. And I'm like, what the freak? I'm like, please, would you just stick with this stuff? Like this stuff that like is so good. Like, yeah, it sucks that the negative things impact you more. Like when you watch negative TV or like negative movies, like it does.
No, I agree. The negative are just funner and easier though. So that's why I can tend to gravitate towards them. So I was like, oh,
start making yourself more uncomfortable.
I've tried. I've tried. I've been doing it. I'm doing it. So I'm in the process.
Good.
It's a process with me.
That does irritate me like quite a bit. You say you're like get irritated by like you think. I don't know things. I don't know. You like say things come easier to me, but they really don't.
They do.
Like I'm disciplined and I work on it for like 8 years.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I feel like discipline is very easy to you. And maybe it's a thing that you've worked on. But like I said, Holly can be like,
maybe I had to have that because who could go for like 7 or 8 years without seeing results? Yeah. I mean, even like Maeband, like I came up with it in 2012 and it wasn't even on Amazon until 2017. I just like persisted and like pushed through it. Once it was there, I think 2017 is when I started learning about all the kooky stuff.
I probably would have given up in that 5 years.
Stuff, to help your business and everything grow.
Yeah, Holly's very persistent. That's a good thing. Maybe it's been taught, but I do think you're very like disciplined. And so it's just that not irritates me, but I'm very envious of that because I feel like I'm not very disciplined. And so I was like, oh, I wish I could be as disciplined as Holly because I feel like my life would be in a good place we're in a good place, but like
you can be, you have full control of that.
But I know I do. I do. But I feel like my life would be way better. Like my life is great now, but my life would be way better if I could have discipline. Or I do have some discipline, but Holly level discipline is like, it's on the next level. Like I honestly, and I'm not just saying this because she's my wife. I've never known anybody with the discipline that Holly has. And I swear to you.
You need to know better people then.
No, I'm telling you, if you knew her personally, you would be blown away. Like I'm telling you, there's nobody out there. I've talked to so many people about this kind of stuff. So many people. Not one of them comes close to the discipline Holly has. No, it's true. It's true.
I don't think that's true.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not just saying this.
If I was so great, then like, why aren't we millionaires? If I was
because Holly, you're pulling this up and I'm like squashing it. We know this. We know what I'm doing. Everybody knows, everybody I talk to, it's either you need to meditate or you are a self-sabotager. You sabotage the crap out of your life. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like everybody. And so what's the saying? How good can you stand it? For some reason, I struggle with things. When things go well, I like panic. Like, oh, something bad's going to happen. Like, like nobody should have it this good.
That's everything. I mean, that's in that book where you had The Big Leap. Like, that's just automatically how people feel when things start going really good. You're like, oh,
they panic. Yeah. It's just like, oh, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah. People create an argument or people create a illness.
Yeah, and I do that too. I don't know, the detriment of our marriage, not marriage, but our lives. Sorry, I don't want to say our marriage. Our marriage is great, but to the detriment of our, like I said, if it was just you, if you were single, you'd probably be like a multi-billionaire and living the life. And remember that dream? Did we say that on the dream? Holly had a dream of the rapture and her and the kids were being lifted up into heaven. I was like waving to them and she's like, Bryan, what did you do? That's what it's like. It's like, I'm like, they're floating away and I've got a rope. I'm like, wait, stay with me. It's not so bad. That's what I feel like. I don't know. But she stays, so that's good.
All right. So next argument you have, or next time your spouse or whoever is feeling bad, like maybe try that.
Yeah.
Do you want comfort or solutions?
Don't say it, but just know it.
Just know it.
Do they want solutions or do they want to be heard?
Well, you can't just.
You can tell.
You can't just like. No, I think you need to ask it, but ask it in the best way that your partner will be okay with you asking.
Okay, do that. Tell us how it works out for you. Yeah. I'd love to know. So,
thanks for watching, Maeband.
See ya.
Bye.